This is the first installment of my Instagram Live chat series, and so I am going to be finding experts in their fields, and I'm going to bring them on here, and we're going to chat for a little bit, okay? So I am super excited about tonight's guest. Okay, tonight's guest is someone who's very special to me, and she just logged on here. So I've actually never done this before. I've never done the screen share thing. So I think she has to request. But if you guys have been following my journey over the last year, it has been super, super eye-opening, there it is, to how important our internal health is. I'm not gonna lie, I always kind of thought it was more about, you know, your workouts and your macros and all that kind of stuff. Oh, Tara.
What's up, Lindsay? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you great.
Okay, cool. Because I might pull out a whiteboard, and so I'm like trying to see if I can make enough space to do that.
But so, P.S., I love your office. That's so cute.
Thanks.
Mine is like not cute. I was just telling everybody how this year for me has been so eye-opening into how important our internal health is. It's like everything, right?
Everything comes from the inside out. So that's like why my podcast is Inside Out Health. You know,
that's
you know me. We vibe on the same frequency that way. So I'm excited to talk about that today. About like instead of just this, like we have such a, especially women, there's so much pressure on us on this outside stuff, and it's like when the inside is right, then the outside radiates, then it does all the things we want it to do, right? But
it's so true.
The inside right.
It's about so much more than just, you know, how many calories you burn in your cardio or how many calories you're eating in the day. Like those things are important, but they won't do anything if the inside's not right.
That's right. And it's just so much easier when the inside is right, which we talk about that all the time. It's like, you know, it's like brushing teeth with Oreos when there's stuff going wrong in the inside. It's like, if you can just take a minute to focus on the inside, we can make this whole thing so much easier. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So we kind of had two topics, and I put it out for a vote in my private community, and we were going to talk about either the top 3 minerals for thyroid health or the top 3 minerals for women. And everybody, well, not everybody, but the majority voted for the top 3 minerals for women. So why don't we just jump right in?
Okay, cool. So the good thing is everyone's going to win because I'm actually going to talk about the minerals that are most important for thyroid health too, but they're also super important for women. So it goes hand in hand. And I love being able, thank you for giving me a voice on this, Lindsay, because I love being able to talk about this because as you know, and as many women have found, you know, you get diagnosed with hypothyroidism and you go in and they're like, here's your medication. And you're like, okay, but like, what should I do to fix this on the front end? And if you go to somebody who's a little more focused on like the functional medicine side of things, you get those kind of answers. Otherwise, you're like, I guess I just have to take this medication for the rest of my life.
For the rest of my life, you feel like it's like a life sentence.
Yes, you have a disease. Like there is a permanent problem with your body. You are a hypothyroid human, right? And there's no way to help it. Just take the medication forever. I mean, and I know medicine's getting better, but that still is the case in a lot of cases. So I'm excited to talk about like, okay, well, what can you do on the front end? And not just for thyroid. We're going to talk about women in general. So, and this goes for men too. It really does. It goes for men too. Yeah. But, the biggest one I want to talk about is magnesium. And I kind of want to get a whiteboard out. So I'm going to try it if you guys can bear with me because it gets a little, I don't have an awesome setup for this. I need to. So I'm just going to try to like, here, we're just going to pull this over. See if you guys can, hold on. See if you can, that's not awesome, huh? That's not awesome.
We can see the top half.
Let me see if I put it in my chair. Bear with me, guys. What do you guys think?
Move your phone a little bit. Oh yeah, that works. Well, let's see.
Let me try putting it on here. I think this will be good. All right.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
Cool. All right, let's geek out. Yeah, let's talk about
yes. Me and Tara and I are like the biggest geeks ever.
We are. I just dropped my cactus. This is not.
Oh no, not the cactus.
All right, you know what? We're not doing the whiteboard.
Oh, I'm sorry. Next time.
So you guys are just gonna have to listen and geek out with me, okay? All right, next time I'll try to get set up for a whiteboard. But magnesium. Okay, so let's talk about magnesium because the basic thing is what doesn't magnesium do? And at least 75% of the population is deficient in magnesium. So we look at all these like disease states and these disorders and like metabolic dysfunction and insulin sensitivity problems, hormone problems, And there's just these little tiny things on the inside that make such a huge difference that we're not aware of. So magnesium is one of those. So one of the first things magnesium helps with, ladies, men too, but ladies, is hormone balance. So we need magnesium in order to make our sex hormones, estrogen and progesterone. So if you're having issues with either of those things, check your magnesium, get your magnesium checked. I recommend using a hair mineral test. Lindsay, did Barton give you like a coupon for your followers?
Yeah. Yeah. We both have a coupon. Yeah. Mine's
what is
Trainer
it?
Lindsay. Trainer Lindsay.
Trainer Lindsay. Okay. So if you guys want to get your hair mineral status tested, use Lindsay's Trainer Lindsay code at upgradedformulas.com and do a hair test, or you can go somewhere else. Just get a hair mineral test to find out if your magnesium's low. As I talk about any of these things and you're like, I
have no idea.
Right? So check it out, because it's so much more than just hormones. Guys too, for testosterone, if you're having testosterone issues, if any guys are watching, or women for your husbands, or your guy, magnesium is huge for being able to make your sex hormones. So big hitter right there.
So maybe you're going to go into this, but what kind of magnesium do you like? Like glycinate, citrate? There's so many.
Well, I'll be honest, I have been recommending magnesium glycinate for so long because it's the most bioavailable, has good absorption. But I will admit, I was using magnesium glycinate when I did that hair test from Upgraded Formulas, and I was really low in magnesium. And I will say, since I've been using the Upgraded Formulas magnesium, which, guys, it's nano-sized particles, so it's highly absorbable magnesium, I've noticed I started dreaming again at night. And this was cool for me.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah, because on my Aura ring, I was tracking sleep and I wasn't getting good REM. And I was like, and the only thing I could figure out how to improve my REM was sleeping longer. But then when my magnesium was low, I was like, that makes sense. So
really cool.
I started dreaming again after taking that consistently. So that's a really good sign that my magnesium is getting replenished, and it takes time. You got to be consistent with it. So
so if my daughter has like crazy dreams, that means she has good magnesium levels.
I think there's something else.
Or she's very creative.
She's also going through the imagination stage too.
Right. Yes.
But yeah, magnesium is huge for that. And I would recommend the Upgraded Formulas because I've had such a positive experience with it. So
I love that one too. It's a game changer for my sleep.
Yeah. And then stress response. Magnesium is huge for stress response. We're getting some questions here.
Yeah, so the hair
testing
was...
site again, it's upgradedformulas.com. Okay, and use the coupon code Trainer Lindsay on anything on there. Okay, so healthy stress response, magnesium is huge for this. So if you aren't handling stress very well, if you feel really stressed out, and I'm going to go deeper into this, whether that's anxiety or depression, magnesium really helps with this. So our autonomic nervous system, the one that helps us go into super fight or flight mode and go and get it done and crush stuff at the gym and that, and we women love to be in that state all the time. Right? We're crush, right? And it's whoa, at some point we need to be able to calm that way down, and magnesium helps us do both. It helps us get into fight or flight mode, and it helps us get into rest and digest and recovery mode, right? So to have a healthy autonomic nervous system, you should be able to do both. You shouldn't walk to the gym and be like, there's no freaking way I'm ever going to be able to get my energy up. No, that's not healthy either. And it's also not healthy to be like, go, crush, and never be able to breathe and calm down. So we need magnesium to do both of those things. Somebody says we would make it great. We really would.
Yes. We've been working. So Tara's been my coach since February, you guys. We do make a pretty good team, I think.
Yeah. We see eye to eye on a lot of things.
Yes.
So fun. Can you guys imagine coaching Lindsay? It's like the best. Okay, so let's go more into stress and depression with magnesium. So if you find yourself really anxious all the time, part of that is because we need magnesium to convert glutamate, which is a very excitatory neurotransmitter, into GABA, which is an inhibitory, brakes on our brain, help our racing thoughts calm down. So if you're going to sleep at night and you're having a hard time with all these racing thoughts and stuff, you might be magnesium deficient, right? So
that is so me.
Yeah.
So that's why it's been such a game changer for me, right?
Yeah.
I never put that all together. Okay.
Right. Yeah. It's actually a chemical thing that's going on, right? And if you can't,
So Nia is asking, do you recommend take it at night? Yes, Nia, you take it at night.
Yeah. So for most people who are deficient in magnesium, we do a protocol kind of First thing in the morning, you take like a small, like one, serving of the upgraded formulas magnesium. And then at night you might take 2 or 3. I take 3 at night and 1 in the morning. That's my protocol. So, and
I haven't been taking 1 in the morning. I'm going to start taking 1 in the morning.
Okay. Yeah. 1 in the morning is great. It's not going to like slow you down. It's just going to help you have that awesome like ability to go in and out of like super stress and calm.
So like before your workout, like first thing when you wake up, or like, okay.
With all my other stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And then also depression. So you need magnesium in order to have healthy serotonin levels too, right? So in order for your brain to release and uptake serotonin, you need magnesium to be able to do that. So if you're depressed, that's another thing to look for with magnesium, is to really help with that. I can't even tell you how much magnesium can help. There are hundreds of functions that magnesium does in our body.
That's so crazy.
Right? So it's like, it's so many things. I'm like, just being here right now is using up magnesium. Just being alive watching us right now is using your magnesium. Okay, so type of magnesium. We were saying I recommend the upgraded formulas, nano size particle magnesium. It's so absorbable. You get more bang for your buck when you invest in supplements that are all the way absorbed, right? Instead of
upgradedformulas.com.
Not absorbed and wasting your urine, like you might as well spend a little more and get all of it out of there, right? So I love upgraded formulas for magnesium, and you can use Trainer Lindsay as the coupon code on that. Okay. All right. Healthy thyroid production. Okay, so a lot of you probably, if you follow Lindsay, I know you have a lot of women following you like, oh girl, like get you on the thyroid thing, like
right.
I think a lot of your audience is interested in that, and all of us should be interested in this because this hypothyroid, it's like an epidemic now. Like how many people are getting diagnosed with hypothyroidism, and it's a much more complex issue. But one of the most important parts of thyroid function are minerals, and so magnesium is the one that we need. We need magnesium to make TSH. So that's our brain signaling to our thyroid gland that it needs to make thyroid hormones, T4, right? So we need magnesium just to get the signal from our brain to our thyroid. And then we also need magnesium to have the T4 that's made from our thyroid. It's inactive. So it has to convert into T3, which is our active form of thyroid in our bloodstream that can be used by our cells. We need magnesium to convert the T4 to T3 too. So really important, magnesium on thyroid function. Also insulin sensitivity. If you don't have enough magnesium, the people who are really insulin resistant are usually the most magnesium deficient, right? So you need, to be insulin sensitive, you need magnesium as well. Keto Conduct, what's up, guys? Thank you, guys. Energy in the afternoon, that crash after 3. Yeah, man, keto helps with avoiding those afternoon crashes too. If you haven't gone through a keto phase, recommend it. Magnesium glycinate is not what the upgraded formulas is, but I do like magnesium glycinate as well. That's the one that's bioavailable to our muscles, right? And if you need something like specifically for your brain, magnesium L-threonate is good for that. Okay.
Would you ever recommend taking both? Like, what if you have constipation issues? Magnesium is supposed to help with that, right? Would you do glycinate, and upgraded formulas?
Yes, absolutely. And so anytime I had magnesium where the second word ends in "ide," be careful because you're
like
more likely to get loose stools from that. If it ends in "ate," like chelate or glycinate, you're less likely to get runny stools.
Okay.
But hey, sometimes like if you're in a bind and you just need a healthy way to like get things going,
right?
Some magnesium oxide can really help out, right? And some
good to know. Good to know.
Ooh, you will be more than okay. Be careful. Okay. So what else? Oh, exercise performance. Huge magnesium. So those of you who love to crush it in the gym, like you need magnesium so badly. 1, because you're plummeting through so much of it. But 2, magnesium actually helps you get your muscle contractions, and it helps your muscles recover afterwards, right? So if you want to be a boss and just be one of those people that can just hit it hard.
Show us your muscles.
What's that?
Show us your muscles.
You're like one of those dudes.
I know, I was just...
I was just so perfect creeper.
Anyways.
Okay. Is the upgraded formula a blend? Isn't it? No, so what they've done there is they've taken magnesium and made it into nano-sized particles so that it can be completely absorbed, right? So I believe it's actually a magnesium oxide, if I'm not mistaken, Lindsay. Do you remember looking on the back?
I think it just says magnesium because I looked before to see. I don't think it says what type it is.
Okay. Well, regardless, but I don't have any stomach issues with it at all.
No, I haven't either at all.
It brought my dreams back. It literally gave me back. So
yes.
I feel like it's working.
Right.
I've actually lost my Aura ring, which is an HRV tracker, you guys. It tracks variability, just like she's got. I just found it. I just charged it today. So I'm excited to see if my REM sleep has gone up since taking that magnesium as well, now that I can track that again.
That would be cool, yeah.
What's the best magnesium you can get over the counter? I would go with magnesium glycinate. Yeah, magnesium glycinate. And then over the counter, like maybe Amazon, if you could do Amazon, like Metagenics or Pure Encapsulations are both really good brands that you can trust as well.
And so I think Holly's asking about upgraded formulas. So the upgraded formulas one is on upgradedformulas.com. And then code Trainer Lindsay gets you 10% off.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So magnesium, where do we get it? Yes, I think probably most women know you can get magnesium in dark chocolate. I mean, come on now.
Yes.
Enjoy, okay? Like, wow, you take 2,000 milligrams of magnesium oxide every night, Wendy?
That's a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
It doesn't upset your stomach? Okay, so I take like 600 milligrams, but mine is the like highly absorbable kind, so maybe it depends on the brand, right?
Right.
Okay, but I'm glad you're taking magnesium. That's good, Wendy. Okay, food sources: leafy greens, dark chocolate, nuts and seeds, legumes. Those are great sources for magnesium in food. Avocados have some too. And then for the supplements, upgraded formulas or all the other ones that we just mentioned. Okay, the next.
Do you feel like you could get enough in your food, or does pretty much everyone they be better off supplementing?
I think because our lifestyles are so stressful now, we demand so much of ourselves, especially also working out on top of like being a mom or working all day and just being high stressed and working out and probably you've got emotional trauma you haven't dealt with and all that. Like,
just life.
Stress. I supplement it. I do. Yeah. And our soils are getting farmed over and over and over, and then they're putting in these man-made versions of the minerals back into the soil to try to help.
Not the same,
but they're too big. We can't absorb them, and so we think we're getting more than we typically are. So I think it's a great idea. Like to me, I'm like, we're so lucky. We are so lucky that our economy is good enough that most of us can order some magnesium. Like we can actually supplement and nourish our bodies and give it all these things to thrive. You know, like that's why I don't really jive with trust me, I believe food is medicine. Oh, like eating better food changes my life.
You are big on that. Yeah.
Right. But why not add some? You know, like I take a hefty handful of stuff in the morning because that's more food for me. I'm like, yay.
Yes.
Gosh, like
I love how you talk about just nourishing yourself with the nutrients and being thankful that you can do that, because it's a totally different approach than looking at these pills thinking, oh, I have to take all these pills. I must not be healthy.
You get to.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Like we have the opportunity to nourish ourselves better than most royalty in the history of time.
Right.
Like, I'm going to do it. If I have access to it, I'm going to do that all day long, because when I'm better, my whole life is better.
Yes, right? Exactly. You're a better mom. You're a better worker. You're a better everything.
Yes. Yes. Right. So we're so lucky. All right. The next big mineral that I want to talk about is zinc. Because zinc is a big hitter, and you don't hear about zinc enough. Like you hear zinc, if you get sick, maybe take some zinc, or, you know, zinc is the great mineral organizer. It organizes all the other minerals in our body. It's huge, and it's also really big for hormones, right? So guys too, like for your guys out there, or if any guys are listening, for testosterone production, zinc is a big deal. You got to make sure that you're having enough zinc. But for women too, for healthy hormone production, we need zinc. Our immune system is entirely dependent upon zinc.
Wow.
So that's not just when you're sick, like in general, and especially if some of you have done DNA testing, if you've taken advantage of that, like I have some SNPs on my DNA that don't get zinc out of food very well. So I need more zinc than the average person. And that was game changer for me, right? Like my mom and sisters all have autoimmune-ish type stuff going on.
Yeah.
And so autoimmunity, like you need to boost up your immune system. You probably need more vitamin C, and you definitely probably need more zinc, right? So test it out sometime. If you're getting sick, hyperdose on some zinc and vitamin C and see if it makes a difference. And if that makes a difference for you, it may be an indicator that you might want to be taking those things all the time, right? So
how much would you say would a hyperdose be if you're getting sick? What would you do?
So some people push limits more than me. Like some people be like 180 milligrams of zinc. I'm like, oh my gosh,
that's a lot of pills.
Right, but that's been recommended from like high level health professionals to me. But for me, it's like 60 milligrams of zinc, I think, is a pretty big dose of zinc picolinate. Yeah. I like the zinc picolinate. You can get that pretty much anywhere. I also do the zinc from Ready Formulas. I've been using that lately. Yep. So, but I have noticed for myself, if I take 60 milligrams of zinc and like 5,000 milligrams of vitamin C, when I start to get sick and drink a bunch of water and do that every day, it just knocks it immediately. So it's pretty cool.
Nice. That's awesome.
And then also zinc influences our insulin sensitivity too. And so if anybody doesn't know what I mean by that, insulin sensitivity means how well you can manage carbs, essentially, right? Can you eat carbs and actually use them in your cells, or does it all go to fat storage as your blood sugar?
Want to be very insulin sensitive.
What's that?
We want to be very insulin sensitive.
Yes, we want to be very.
This is a good thing.
That's called you get to eat lots of carbs. Yes. That's the goal, right? We want to be very, and so zinc helps us be more insulin sensitive. So zinc is really important. D3 is also awesome for immunity. Vitamin D is like a hormone in our body. It's so important for so many things. It's one of the biggest inflammation markers. If you have low vitamin D on your blood test, I mean, that is like all stops. Make sure you get that handled, right? And so if you can get out in sunshine, that is really the best way to get vitamin D. I personally am not even opposed to like a once in a while tanning bed for people who have vitamin D issues. Just something to get. They have ones that mimic natural sunlight at Planet Fitness. And so I'm a fan of that. For me, I have a DNA snip that makes vitamin D. Both copies of that are bad on me. And when I go do the natural sunlight tanning bed, it's a game changer in my life. Game changer. So yeah,
that's cool.
Also important on so many levels. But going back to zinc, it's also important for our thyroid production, because if you don't have zinc, your brain can't even make the TSH to stimulate your thyroid to make healthy thyroid production. So you gotta have healthy levels. So that's one to watch out for as well. And again, with minerals, I want to be really, really clear. If you haven't gotten tested for your mineral status, I really recommend that, because this is one where, like, suppose I'm telling you, like, yeah, you probably have low magnesium and you're like cranking the magnesium and you actually already had high magnesium. That's not good, right?
Yeah, right.
Minerals aren't like vitamins where you're just going to like pee them out. Like, you don't want to overdo it either. So I would say get tested, spend $100 on yourself. Christmas is around the corner.
Right.
You know, order a hair mineral test and find out.
Both Tara and I have done it. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, it's just now you know. Now you don't have to guess. It's so great, you know?
It's so cool.
All right. And then for food sources for zinc, really meat and shellfish. Those are your go-tos, but you can also get it from like legumes and nuts and seeds as well. So yeah, zinc for sure. Okay. Cool. The last one I want to talk about, I actually have 4, Lindsay. I have a bunch.
That's okay.
I was like, I can't leave this one out. So the next one I want to talk about is iodine. I want to talk about iodine because especially for the thyroid people, you definitely need iodine in order to make T4, right? So, and on that, when you go from your brain, it makes TSH, and then to make T4, you need iodine in order to be able to do that. And I don't recommend like the iodized salt from the store. That's not like a great source of iodine. Yeah. But yeah, Erin, what's up? Iodine is massive, isn't it? Yeah. So what I prefer is the iodine from Upgraded Formulas too. That's why I love.
You can go there and get everything you need. Seriously.
Yeah.
The women's hormone bundle has what? It has magnesium, iodine, and zinc, right?
I'm pretty sure.
What it comes with?
I'm pretty sure. I told him to make that.
Oh, you did?
Bundle, please, so it's easier for me to tell people what to get. Yeah. So, guys, just so you know, Upgraded Formulas, I met the owner of that company at PaleoFX last year, and he's just like this awesome, like me and Lindsay, he's just this like super nerd of health, and he had hormone problems himself as a man who was eating well and active and going to the gym all the time, and he didn't know what was wrong with him, and he found out he was critically low on magnesium, started replacing all his minerals, changed his life. And so then he made upgraded formulas because he realized there were problems with the absorption of these minerals supplements that are out there. And so that's why I'm a fan of it, because he's coming from a place of pure passion, and also he's a biochemist, right? So he knows how to do it. So I so cool. I love that, right? Like if you're coming from your heart space and you're bringing something to the world, like this changed my life. Yep. I support you, because I see
so awesome.
So, so some sources of iodine are like seaweed, kelp, vegetables, leafy greens, things like that. But honestly, like I would supplement it. I supplement it.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I have that protection on my thyroid, because I do have some tendencies towards a little bit lower iodine. So iodine is huge. The last one I want to hit on is selenium, because I'm like, I can't talk about like all this stuff with thyroid.
Oh yeah, you have to have 4. You can't forget selenium.
I can't leave it out. So
selenium. No, 4 is good. Yeah, good call.
The reason, like I would like leave out the last piece of the puzzle if I didn't mention it.
Right.
On this thyroid production, so think brain stimulates TSH from your thyroid makes T4, and then we have T3, right? So T3 is that active form that goes out into your blood and delivers to your cells. And if you don't have selenium, guess what happens? That T4 actually makes reverse T3 instead of T3, right? And so we want, which is also inactive. So we want active thyroid in our bloodstream, and we have to have selenium to do it. And a lot of us are deficient in selenium. Like we're just not eating the foods that have a lot of it in it. So I just get the selenium myself, like a little trace minerals bottle of selenium. What I do, guys, to make this so easy and streamlined in my life is at night, I make a huge cup of an electrolyte drink, and I add all these liquid minerals that I have from upgraded formulas. I add my selenium. What else do I put in there? Sometimes I'll just have like, it's great because it gets me to like take my CBD and my magnesium, and it's like, I was gonna say sometimes I like make it with tea, but I like to do the electrolytes too, so I'm hydrated before going to bed. So
that's awesome. I'm gonna start doing that.
Okay, Erin says it's good to get your iodine levels checked by blood too. Okay, great, thanks, Erin. So the women's formula has everything you were talking about in it. So what Lindsay was talking about was it's like a pack, and I believe it's magnesium, iodine, and zinc. Yeah.
I think so. There's 3 products, I'm sure, and it's not expensive, you guys. I think it's like $90 for 3 products, and it lasts, I don't know, more than a month. It's
totally
a while,
and you're absorbing all of it, so you're getting all the bang for your buck. And the selenium, I don't think that he has selenium, does he? I could be wrong.
No, I get my selenium. Oh, what's the brand? It's the one that El Russ recommends, but I can't remember the brand. If someone's interested, they can DM me and I can send them a picture.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I just use the Trace Minerals one.
Yeah.
Sprouts grocery store. So Boss Chief is saying he's just checking in, or she just checking in. What are the 4 minerals? So magnesium, zinc, iodine, and selenium. So we just got on selenium, so we're going to talk about that for a second. So we need selenium in order to make active T3 hormone in our bodies. And if you want to get it from food, Brazil nuts are the highest in selenium of all foods.
That's what I was trying to do before. I kept hearing like for thyroid health, eat like 3 Brazil nuts a day. And I'm like, you're not getting very much selenium and you're getting a lot of calories. Why not get more selenium? And
I would rather
something else.
I would rather just know, because this is how I look at it. It's like, well, how do you know for sure that the ground that those were farmed in really had adequate mineral levels in the soils? Just because, like, I mean, look at the food. Like, our food abundance is amazing. It's amazing that, like, right now we can go to the grocery store and be like, oh, I want blackberries, and I want raspberries, and I want this. It's like magical.
Right.
We can eat whatever we want. But it also comes with its own set of problems, right? And then what that is, how much we're having to refarm the same land over and over and over. And then they're putting these big chunk man-made minerals in. And so how do you know for sure if you're really, like, one of the courses I went to, which is a very high level nutrition course, it was from Charles Poliquin, was one of the best in the industry. He was saying that he doesn't believe Brazil nuts have hardly any selenium in them anymore.
Interesting.
That's his opinion. So I don't know if that's true, but I would rather just take selenium. So it's just a little nightly yummy drink, and then I know it's good. Right?
So are you opening all these and putting them in your drink for absorption?
Yeah. Just like make it, and I just like science it all up.
Yeah.
My little
science it. I love it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I would recommend the supplement on all of those, honestly. And those are big hitters. So if you missed this, I really would go back and watch the beginning on magnesium, because it's unbelievable.
So I'm going to be reposting this whole thing. I think I don't know if you are too, but I'm going to post it on my Instagram TV, and it'll be on here for 24 hours. Yeah. So for someone who does not have any hormone issues, or so that they know of, should they still take selenium?
Yeah, I don't have any hormone issues that I know of.
Yeah,
but I take selenium because it's such an important part of a healthy thyroid, right? And I know it's very rare to get it in food, so I would like to have it just in case, right?
Yeah.
So,
okay. Yeah. So you would say for any woman or even man, like anyone watching this, they can cover their bases by doing those 4 things. I mean, that's not all they would need to take. There's other things too, but like for those 4 minerals.
Right. And I really, really would recommend that you test and find out first with minerals,
true. Right.
I would really push for that. Like, because I've had, like me, my magnesium was so freaking low. I was like, what? Even when
and you never would have guessed, right?
And I've had clients, like I had one of my clients the other day, he took it and his magnesium was like almost high,
Really?
So it's like, well,
interesting.
I wasn't making you take magnesium. That's why it's so important to find out, right? And that's the thing is like, really, I really push anybody listening to find out, like geek out on yourself a little bit. Like that's self-love. Like find out what's going on in there. It's not that expensive. A test for minerals is like $100, and then we don't have to guess anymore. Maybe you don't even need to go buy some of this stuff, right?
Right. Totally. It's so interesting.
And then you can feel good about it, knowing like, hey, body, here you go. I know you need this. I got you.
Yeah, that's so cute. I love it when you say that. Hey, body.
yeah, a little self-love.
That's awesome. Well, cool. Thank you so much, Tara. I hope you guys love that. So it's going to stay here on Instagram Live, and then we're going to put it on Instagram TV and on Facebook. Okay. But Tara's around. Where can people find you?
Just anywhere as Coach Tara Garrison. So CoachTaraGarrison.com. Here on Instagram, most of the time, I'm always oversharing my life. I'm one of those people. Yeah. And then on Facebook as well.
Perfect. Should we answer this last one?
Sure. Do we need to supplement separately with these minerals, or would they be sufficient with a high quality multivitamin if levels are near normal? I would say, Holly, like most multivitamins are not really going to have a clinical dose of these minerals in it, right? They're going to have small doses. And so I personally really shy away from any supplement that's like a huge combo of tons of things, because it usually doesn't really even have enough of that thing to make much of an impact, right? I mean, it's great to take a multivitamin, but if you're like, man, I need magnesium, like look how much magnesium is not going to be even close to enough, as you want at least 400 milligrams a day. Of magnesium, some people more, but in general, even if you don't get the testing, most of us want about 400 milligrams of magnesium a day. And so these like combo supplements, they tend to have really impressive labels, like, oh, it has this, and it's like, oh, 10 milligrams, cool, that's
cool,
right? And so just a heads up on that. But I would recommend taking these ones separately, and then if you want to take a multivitamin just to kind of have like cover your bases on a minimal level, then sure.
Yeah. All right. Okay, you guys, if you have any other questions, you can ask Tara. You can find her on her Instagram. She's like the smartest girl I know. I love this girl so much.
Me too. Thanks for having me on.
Okay. What's that? Oh, yeah. Anytime. All right. It's been fun, you guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Yeah, bye.